Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Map Making with Sparks. We're on the True to Norm map again, ready to go, and we are also now in the snapshot. We are in 13 week 38C, and we're going to be making use of some of the new features that the snapshot brings. It's kind of a cool snapshot. There's some really odd features though with rendering, like if I'm outside, like with a glass above me, it's bright, and then if I get under a roof, it goes really dark, like it's about to rain. Very strange, very strange. So there's a couple of new things that they've brought out with the snapshot, which we're going to be trying to utilize to improve the map, make it a lot smaller. There are a few bugs, however, which is stopping me from doing as much work as I would like. The reason there haven't been any episodes recently is because I've been waiting in the hope that these bugs have been fixed. Now here's one example of a bug. This is a dispenser, and this command block here, using the new setblock command, causes a dispenser to appear right there, right? And that's cool, but this value 2 here, that number is supposed to indicate which way the dispenser is facing. You change it and the direction of the dispenser changes, but it doesn't work. It's very inconvenient. And I was hoping to redesign the nodes using it, but that's out. The other problem is that if you use direct coordinates in a set block command and you are in negative coordinates, either the X or the Z, then it has a bug where it places the block 2 blocks away from where you tell it to, which in itself isn't an issue. I mean, I can just change the coordinates to match where the block actually appears, but when they fix the bug, I'll have to change them all again. So a little bit limited to what we can do, but I want to get back started working on this map. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be using the new block replacement thing. I made a Lectures and Lab Coats video about this a while ago, but we are going to replace these with a much nicer system, and I'll be right back when I've done that. Alright, well this is looking pretty good. We can now use this new system to change the colour of the block behind it to indicate whether this is on or off. So currently it's red and off, and when I press that, it goes green and the signal turns on. This particular one is for the parkour allowance. Now personally I think this looks a lot better than the lamps, partly because we're using the lamps to indicate the team in this game, so I didn't really want to use them for indication. I want to do this for all of the ones along here, but there's something else I want to try, which is, I believe now, if you take an item frame, let's just have a look here. I haven't tried this yet, but I think it would work. Item frame, and you take a map. I can never find those. And then you get an anvil, which is listed under flowers. Let's see, anvil. You take the map, you right click it, you turn it into a map very slowly. There we go, beautiful. And then you put the map in the anvil and you rename it to allow parkour, which is what this particular lever does. And then you place the item frame behind the button, and then you place the map in the item frame. Okay, so we now have a little map on there, which is not what I wanted, but you can see that you get this sort of floating text above it, which looks kind of cool. I guess I could map out a blank area, couldn't I? There's plenty of blank areas. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to change the rest of these buttons. Does that stay all the time? That's interesting. I thought it would I thought it would vanish if you weren't looking at it directly. How interesting. It also seems a bit offset. Is that angled as to how I place it when I first... I think that may be a bug. But I think it looks a little nicer than a sign, and it doesn't obstruct the block behind it as much. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go map out a blank area, and I'm gonna switch the buttons around and things like that, and then I'll be right back. Oh. I seem to have chanced upon a slight problem. as well as the very strange behavior of these item things, it doesn't seem like I can press the button. I can still do this by placing like something else inside, like a button, and calling that allow parkour. I think this will work, but then it's simply the case that you get... I still can't press the button. This must be an update in this version of the snapshot. I think I'm going to have to leave that for now. As cool as it looks, you can't press the button, which is a bit of an issue. I'm sure you'll agree it's a very slight issue. So currently this map doesn't actually have all that many settings, but I think this looks quite a bit nicer. Role player detection, dynamic daylight, which we looked at last episode and which has been significantly improved upon since the set block. Aerofighter did a really nice design, which I'll probably look at in a later episode. But yeah, it's a good start. It's a bit of a shame that those map things don't quite work. I was hoping they'd make good hover over icons, and they did work in the previous snapshot. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. The next thing I'd like to do here is... this is sort of a prequel to the main part, really. Over here, in the team selection for Crazy Man's map, currently when a team is ready, they press this button here and it pops out a green wool like that. And I think it would look much nicer if we had red and blue clay as before, and maybe even have the same thing here, which is going to take a little bit of rewiring, but it shouldn't be too bad. So I'll get started on that. And then the main focus of today's episode is going to be I'm redoing item equipping for well, the way the items are given and taken during the map, because I think I have a better way of doing it, because in the new snapshot you can now give enchanted items, and I just want to try and make the item giving part of the map as fast as possible. So we can get started on that in a second. Alright, well that's been changed over. Wasn't quite as difficult as I thought. So there's now 2 red splodges, and if I set the dark team to be ready, it turns green. If I leave the dark team, therefore unredifying it, it goes red. Redifying red. And the same for the light team, you can set it to ready, or you can leave the light team and that'll reset it. Somebody joining a team will also reset it. So basically, if other actions happen, it sort of sets it back to unready because they're clearly not. They're still doing things. The redstone, I basically replaced the pistons. The pistons used to be against these blocks here, and there used to be a redstone torch there, and I just put the 2 command blocks here. So this one here changes them to be red, 14 is red, and this one here changes it to be green, 13 is green. So nice and simple. I decided I didn't want to change the actual ready switches because it's a good button and it should always be green, but I did change the green wool for green clay to match the theme. This area still needs a bit of redecorating in my opinion. It's a mushroom factory, so I think it should have a more mushroomy, unique feel to it rather than each team selection room looking the same. So that's my thoughts on that. Now, the item system for this map. Doesn't redstone look weird with the new filtering and stuff? Look at that. It's all blobby. Is that anything to do with... Is that just how it works now? There's the filtering stuff. What would it be under? Anyway, slightly distracted. It's just, I think it's just the way that Minecraft renders things now. Like, look at those lamps in the distance there. They look like they're just a single colour till you get the angle right, including the unlit ones. I don't know, it looks a bit odd to me. I'm assuming they're still working on it. We are in snapshot after all. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing here. Currently, when you have selected your teams and everybody's ready, they get teleported down, down, down into this section down here, which has 2 rooms which have spawn point settings. So players' spawns are set either into the light or the dark spawn zone, and then on a clock they are teleported over into this room here, which will give them their items, their enchanted items and things like that, and then teleport them to their respective start zones. Now the thing is, that works fine and very quick. It works fine for everybody, but there's quite a bit of delay, especially at the very beginning of a match when you've got 4+ people in each of these rooms, and each is waiting, because it can only process one at a time, each is waiting to go through. So what I want to change about this, and there's going to be a small compromise involved, is I'm going to teleport everybody straight here, right? As soon as the game starts. There's going to be a wall here, and they're going to be in an enclosed room, and this wall is going to be here, and they're going to be teleported right here, and at the very start of the game, they're going to be given their armor, their weapons, everything like that. We can now give them enchanted items and armor with the give command, which is great. We can give it to everyone at once, which will be very fast, and this wall will stay here for 20 seconds, something like that, and then we'll be able to display a countdown, so like have a 3 appear on there, then a 2, then a 1, and then the wall will fall away and the game will start. We needed something like this anyway, but the compromise is that even though everyone will be equipped very quickly, they'll have to put the armor on themselves, because as far as I'm aware, there's no way of actually placing the armor onto them with the give command, which is a slight shame, I think, but I digress. Rather than when somebody dying they get put through the re-equipping system again, they're just going to be teleported right back here. I'm not going to give them new armor. I'm not going to give them anything new. They're just going to be teleported back here, and things like their armor are going to have very strong unbreaking enchantments on them so that they don't really break through the course of the match. And then should somebody want to re-equip, there'll be a little chamber that they can step into, and when they do, it will remove their armor and items and give it to them afresh, just in case something goes wrong and they need to be re-equipped, if that makes sense. So we're going to get started on that. I can only use relative coordinates for all of this. I can't use specific because of this directional bug I was talking about. But to begin with, I'm going to clear out this mess of a item system down here. Just to remind myself, I've got Infinity 1, Power 1 bows, just Unbreaking Iron swords, and Protection 1 on all the armor. And then you get golden carrots and arrows and things like that. So yeah, I'll be right back. Can I just say I find it very distracting that as soon as I'm under something it gets dark. Like, that's how I like to play Minecraft. This, I feel like I need to toggle downfall or something. It's really annoying. So I'm curious, can I spawn a block outside of the loaded chunks? I tried spawning it once outside of a chunk that had never been loaded before, but I haven't tried this. So let's try. Set block. That's the coordinates of the dark team spawn, and then stone. Cannot place block outside of world. Okay, so this is something we need to watch out for. We can't use wireless redstone to set something in an unloaded chunk. So we need to make sure that the chunk is loaded. Okay, so that's loaded even though it's not visually showing as loaded, which means I've probably broken something over here now. Hello, mushroom. There's our stone block. Okay, so I've come up with sort of a bit of a solution that will allow me to use specific coordinates even though there's an offset. So this redstone block here is where the command block over there does spawn the redstone block, and this red clay here is where the command block should spawn the block. This is the actual coordinates that I entered. So I figure I can just have 2 receptors that bleed into the one input. And then for now it'll use this one, and then later it'll use that one. And once it switches, rather than having to re-enter all the coordinates, I can just delete this one. So if you notice, that command block up there checks. It gets powered by the command block and then replaces. Sorry, it gets powered by the redstone block and then replaces it with air. And the same for this one over here, which basically means that it receives a pulse, and that pulse is sent by this system over here, which will send the pulse as it teleports everybody over. So I'm going to set a short delay, and then I'm going to give everybody within this room all the items and armor that they need. Okay guys, so this is Aerophyte's test world. I came on here quickly just to check something that we did together because it's relevant to the map I'm making at the moment. But and I noticed this is sort of an invisible wall thing I was doing. But look, the map The map is of Trutanor. This is a different world. And I don't know how this happened. I think if I right-click this, it might update. But that seems a bit like a bug to me. No, I can rotate it and everything. By the way, in case you were interested, this was my invisible wall test. You can see you can't actually see the item through the maps. But that's really weird that it would copy the map across like that. Very strange, very strange. Okay, guys, this just gets weirder and weirder. So watch this, okay? These are my enchanted leather boots. Delightful boots, don't get any dark on them. I placed them in the item frame. All good so far, right? We've got sort of a frozen enchantment colour on it, which is a bit weird because it's not actually rippling like it should. And we have the text. Now, if I put the delightful greaves next to it, the text for the delightful boots vanishes. Again, both of them have frozen enchantments. If I break that off, the enchantment for this gets dimmer, and the text for both has vanished. What? See? Look at that. Look at the boots as I do this. What is going on? Oh, if I rotate them, it also updates. That's really strange. Yeah, Mojang has some fixes to do, I think. Just see that, guys. This game is calling me a delightful jerk. I don't even know what to make of that. It should be delightful jerkin, but we've already established there's problems here. Looks kind of weird the way the text floats. I would like it if it wasn't so buggy. So let's try this out, okay? We've just been spawned here. We've had a redstone block appear right there, and that didn't go very well. Let's actually put some redstone over the top here. And try again. Right, we've had our redstone block taken from us, I'm sad. Okay, we've just been spawned here. The blocks just appeared there, and BAM! We'll be in survival mode, which means we have our iron sword with an unbreaking level of 100. Everything's got unbreaking 100 on it. We've got our bow and arrow, our food, and we should be able to equip our armor with fairly easy ease, apart from I seem to be unable to click, and then we are ready to go once this wall starts to fall. Over here, these blocks here are all responsible for spawning this wall in. So the wall will fall away so that you can get through. So to begin with, it'll be like this, and the instant people are spawned over here and that redstone block appears, these command blocks here will be activated, and as you will see, the wall appears basically instantly. Ready? Bam! Like that. So the wall will be there, and then we're going to go ahead and after a short delay of 10 seconds or so, we're going to have this one turn green, then this one turn green, then this one turn green, and then the wall's going to fall away. And the game will begin. Very exciting, very exciting. So that's the next stage, this wall countdown thing, which shouldn't be too much work. Alright guys, I think I'm done, or at least the first draft of this is done. Let's try it out. We're going to join the light team. I've only finished it for the light team. Join the light team. We're going to ready the teams. And once the map starts, we should, hopefully, everything should go fine. Right, so we're going to spawn here. The wall appears. We're given our stuff. Excellent. Do we have time to put everything on? To arrange things? Yes, we do. There's our countdown. And bing! The wall is gone. I wanted to make the wall fall away with sand, like drop down. But it seems to be a bit buggy, like some of the blocks would refuse to fall, so I ended up just vanishing them. This is our circuitry back here. So first of all, the wall is built. That's these command blocks here. Then after a short delay to make sure everybody's been teleported properly, the items are distributed to everybody at once. And then after this delay here, which is a couple of seconds, we get the top blocks here replace the red with green, and the bottom ones there play the orb sound. And then over here, this basically just destroys the wall, replaces all the wall blocks with air. So if we just look at that again, because I think it looks pretty good, and I think there's enough time for people to get their equipment on and such like, and make sure the sword is in the right place. Then the countdown runs, and then the wall vanishes, and people can continue on and play the game. Excellent. Obviously, there will be sides to this, but Crazy Man is in the process of actually designing this area, like putting all the decoration and stuff in, so I don't want to mess with anything above ground too much at the moment. But that's everything I've got for today. It's been an adventure. This has been the snapshot video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to make these a little more regular now that the snapshot is coming out. The bug I mentioned right at the beginning of this episode with the dispensers not facing the right way, I've submitted it to the Minecraft bug tracker. It's been confirmed. Hasn't been assigned yet, but you know, things are happening with it. So hopefully it'll be fixed soon. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.